In today's episode, we're examining 5 deadly encounters where routine activities turned fatal, all captured on camera. From a marine researcher attacked by sharks in murky waters to a volunteer's tragic encounter with a faulty gate. But first, we start in Montana, where improper food storage brought a grizzly bear to one camper's tent. It was July 15, 2017, in the remote backcountry of northern Montana, where dense forests of lodgepole pine stretched endlessly beneath towering mountain peaks. This sparsely monitored wilderness region supported one of the state's densest grizzly bear populations, with more than 300 bears moving through the area during peak summer months. Curtis Vaughn, a 34-year-old maintenance supervisor from Billings, had chosen this isolated location specifically to escape crowded campgrounds and document wildlife for his modest social media following of 4,200 people. Known for his methodical approach to both work and recreation, Curtis had been planning this solo expedition for months, researching trail conditions and wildlife activity patterns. He established his campsite at least 100 yards from the main trail, but unknowingly within 50 yards of huckleberry bushes, an unsafe distance during peak feeding season. Fresh scat and overturned logs dotted the area, which Curtis had photographed the previous evening, but he misinterpreted the claw marks, common territorial signs, as routine wildlife activity rather than an active feeding zone. His food storage setup consisted of a rope hung between 2 trees, just 8 to 10 feet off the ground instead of the recommended 15 feet, and only 20 to 25 feet from his cooking area instead of the required 100 feet. The surrounding terrain featured steep ravines and thick underbrush that limited escape routes, while a nearby creek provided the constant sound of running water. Curtis had documented his first 3 days through detailed photos and videos, capturing the pristine wilderness and abundant wildlife signs in the area. He had also set up a motion-activated trail camera 30 feet from his tent to capture nocturnal wildlife activity, positioning it with a clear view of his campsite and cooking area. Grizzly bears in this region typically weigh between 400 to 600 pounds, with males reaching up to 8 feet in length and standing 4 feet tall at the shoulder. These apex predators possess incredible strength, capable of running 35 miles per hour and detecting scents from over a mile away. During late summer, bears enter a phase called hyperphagia, consuming up to 20,000 calories daily to prepare for winter hibernation. Their powerful jaws generate bite forces exceeding 1,200 pounds per square inch, while their claws can measure up to 4 inches in length. Adult males become increasingly territorial and aggressive during this period, defending prime feeding areas from competitors and perceived threats. The attack occurred during the early morning hours of Curtis's 4th day, approximately 6:30 a.m., according to his camera's timestamp. The trail camera captured multiple motion-activated clips, documenting the bear's approach and the initial moments of the attack, beginning with the adult male grizzly, estimated at 500 pounds, approaching from downwind following scent trails from unwashed cooking equipment left outside the tent. The footage showed the bear investigating the campsite perimeter for several minutes before making direct contact with the tent. Curtis emerged from his shelter and attempted to reach a cluster of trees only 10 to 12 feet away, far too close to offer meaningful protection. The camera recorded the grizzly's first strike, knocking Curtis to the ground, delivering massive trauma to his head and neck region. The footage captured the bear's claws striking Curtis's head and neck area, leaving visible lacerations. The bear's powerful forepaws struck repeatedly against Curtis's chest and torso. The animal then delivered bites to Curtis's torso. The medical examiner later determined that the attack had caused fractures to his skull and cervical vertebrae, resulting in immediate neurological damage, fractured ribs and sternum, and punctured vital organs, with catastrophic internal injuries later identified during medical examination. The trail camera's motion-activated clips provided fragmented documentation of the incident due to the device's 30-second recording limit and cool-down period between activations. The initial clip showed the bear's approach and first contact with Curtis, followed by a gap during the camera's reset cycle. Subsequent clips captured brief moments of the ongoing attack at intervals, showing the bear's continued aggression and Curtis's attempts at defense. The final recorded segment documented drag marks in the soil where the bear had moved Curtis's body roughly 10 to 15 yards from the original attack site, consistent with defensive repositioning rather than predation. While the camera footage was incomplete due to technical limitations, the available clips combined with physical evidence at the scene allowed investigators to reconstruct the sequence of events. The medical examiner determined death resulted from catastrophic blood loss and craniocervical trauma sustained during the initial moments of the encounter, with secondary injuries from the prolonged mauling. Curtis failed to check in at the designated ranger station on July 18th, prompting a welfare search by volunteer rangers who knew his planned itinerary. Hikers reported an abandoned campsite with scattered cookware and torn fabric 2 days later, leading to the discovery of the scene. Wildlife officers secured the area and collected hair samples, scat, and track casts for analysis, while documenting the extensive evidence of bear activity. The trail camera footage, though fragmented, provided crucial evidence for the investigation when combined with physical evidence at the scene. The investigation revealed food odors on unwashed equipment and the improperly positioned food storage system that violated established backcountry protocols. Authorities implemented a temporary area closure spanning 5 square miles and posted enhanced food storage advisories throughout the region. No bear removal was pursued, as the incident was classified as defensive behavior triggered by human error rather than predatory aggression. Curtis's family requested privacy during their grief, while the local hiking community emphasized the importance of proper bear safety protocols through increased education programs and mandatory bear canister requirements for the area. Following Curtis's death in Montana, marine biology research assistant Jocelyn Ray continued her underwater research in Florida's coastal waters. It was September 12, 2018, along Florida's Gulf Coast, where murky near-shore waters created ideal hunting conditions for the region's apex marine predators. The Patch Reef system extended roughly 2 miles offshore, characterized by limestone formations rising from sandy bottoms at depths ranging from 15 to 40 feet. Water temperatures held steady at 82 degrees Fahrenheit, while tidal currents moved at 1.5 knots during the incoming cycle. Jocelyn Ray, a 28-year-old marine biology research assistant, had arrived at the site to conduct routine behavioral observations as part of her graduate thesis on shark activity patterns. Her research focused on how environmental factors influenced predator behavior in coastal ecosystems. Jocelyn maintained a professional social media presence with 3,600 followers, documenting her underwater research through educational posts about marine conservation. Known for her methodical data collection and conservative approach to gear preparation, she had been studying this particular reef system for 8 months. Her diving partner, Mark Davis, remained aboard their 24-foot research vessel to monitor surface conditions and maintain communication protocols. Recent storm activity had stirred up significant sediment, reducing underwater visibility to less than 10 feet. Surface observations revealed baitfish schools breaking near the reef structure, while current lines carried suspended particles. The research team had documented increased shark activity following recent weather disturbances in the area. Jocelyn carried a waterproof action camera mounted on her mask to record behavioral observations, while a secondary camera was attached to her equipment tray for wider-angle documentation of her research activities. Bull sharks represent one of the most adaptable and aggressive shark species, capable of thriving in both saltwater and freshwater environments. Adult females can reach lengths of 11 feet and weights exceeding 500 pounds, while males typically measure 7 to 8 feet. These predators possess the strongest bite force of any shark species, generating over 1,300 pounds per square inch of pressure. Their broad, triangular teeth are designed for crushing and tearing, making them particularly effective hunters in turbid water, where they rely on electroreception and lateral line sensitivity rather than vision. Bull sharks are known for their unpredictable behavior and tendency to investigate disturbances through direct contact. The attack occurred at approximately 11:45 a.m. during an incoming tide cycle. Jocelyn had descended to 25 feet to observe tagged individuals when visibility deteriorated further due to increased current flow. The mask-mounted camera captured the entire attack sequence as the primary attacker, estimated at 8 feet in length, struck Jocelyn from her left side with tremendous force, targeting her torso area. The footage showed the impact separating her from her camera equipment and disrupting her buoyancy control system. The mask-mounted camera captured only a brief, chaotic burst of motion before being violently displaced. Within seconds, bubbles, debris, and a rapidly spreading blood cloud obscured visibility, making the sequence of the attack itself impossible to discern on the footage. No clear bite locations were visible on video. Subsequent medical examination and equipment analysis indicated that the initial strike most likely involved the lower extremities, followed by catastrophic traumatic injuries consistent with a rapid escalation typical of fatal shark encounters. Both cameras captured Jocelyn's compromised buoyancy system, causing her to lose neutral buoyancy, drifting downward as she lost consciousness. The medical examiner listed traumatic hemorrhage as the primary cause of death, with secondary drowning following loss of consciousness. Coast Guard rescue teams arrived within 30 minutes of the emergency call, coordinating with county marine units to recover Jocelyn's body from the reef site. Her diving equipment showed extensive damage consistent with shark interaction, including a punctured buoyancy compensator and severed air hoses. Both cameras were recovered and provided crucial footage of the complete attack sequence for the investigation. The investigation documented recent fishing activity in the area, with charter boats reporting increased shark sightings and fish remains scattered across the bottom. Marine biologists noted that the turbid water conditions and incoming tide created conditions associated with elevated shark activity, factors that significantly elevated risk levels for solo diving operations. Authorities issued advisories recommending 2 diver teams for all research activities during periods of reduced visibility. The university suspended solo diving protocols pending a comprehensive safety review. Jocelyn's family established a marine research scholarship in her memory, while her academic colleagues emphasized the inherent risks of studying apex predators in their natural environment. As the Florida incident concluded, electrical technician Lionel Vance arrived for routine maintenance at an Oklahoma animal sanctuary. It was March 8, 2016, at a rural exotic animal facility in Oklahoma, where 47 acres of fenced enclosures housed rescued primates, big cats, and other wildlife confiscated from illegal ownership. The sanctuary operated under federal permits, providing lifetime care for animals that could not be released into the wild. Lionel Vance, a 41-year-old electrical technician, had arrived to perform quarterly maintenance on the facility's exterior lighting systems. His work required servicing control panels positioned throughout the property, including one near the chimpanzee enclosure. Lionel documented his work locations on social media for his 4,800 followers, sharing photos of facilities he serviced across the region. Known for his confidence with technical equipment and compliance with safety procedures, he had completed 2 previous maintenance visits to the sanctuary without incident. The facility housed 6 chimpanzees in a large outdoor enclosure connected to indoor housing through tunnels and gates. On this day, animal handlers had planned to secure the chimpanzees indoors before maintenance work began, following standard protocol. However, an emergency involving an injured leopard diverted the primary caretaker's attention. The electrical panel was positioned within arm's reach of the enclosure's single-barrier mesh fencing, a design that safety assessments had flagged as problematic. The facility maintained comprehensive security camera coverage of all enclosure perimeters. Chimpanzees are humanity's closest living relatives, sharing approximately 98% of human DNA, yet possessing physical capabilities far exceeding those of humans. Adult males typically weigh 120 to 150 pounds, but possess muscle density and strength roughly 5 times greater than humans. Their arms span up to 8 feet when extended, while their hands possess grip strength far exceeding that of humans. Chimpanzees demonstrate complex social behaviors and problem-solving abilities, but also exhibit territorial aggression and unpredictable responses to perceived threats. In captivity, they often develop heightened stress responses and sudden aggressive behaviors. Their powerful jaws contain canine teeth measuring up to 2 inches in length. The attack began at approximately 2:30 p.m. when Lionel's socket wrench set slipped through the mesh barrier and scattered inside the enclosure. Rather than following protocol to contact animal handlers, Lionel extended his right arm through the fencing to retrieve the fallen tools. The security camera captured the complete attack sequence as the adult male chimpanzee grabbed Lionel's forearm the moment it passed through the mesh. The footage showed the animal's grip preventing Lionel from withdrawing his arm as the chimpanzee began biting his wrist and forearm, with visible blood flowing from the wounds. 2 juvenile chimpanzees joined the attack, reaching through the mesh to strike Lionel's head and shoulders repeatedly. The adult male continued to wrench Lionel's trapped arm while delivering multiple bites that caused severe bleeding and tissue damage. The security footage documented escalating blood loss as the chimpanzee's teeth penetrated deep into Lionel's arm. Facility staff responded within 3 minutes, deploying noise deterrents and food rewards to draw the animals away. The attack lasted approximately 4 minutes before staff successfully recalled the chimpanzees indoors. The medical examiner determined that the chimpanzee's bites had punctured major blood vessels, including the radial and ulnar arteries, while also crushing bone in Lionel's forearm and wrist. Lionel sustained catastrophic trauma to his right arm, with complete severance of major blood vessels and extensive tissue damage. He also suffered multiple blunt force injuries to his head from the juvenile chimpanzees. Death resulted from severe blood loss combined with traumatic brain injury from repeated impacts. Emergency medical personnel arrived within 8 minutes, but were unable to stabilize Lionel's condition due to the extent of his injuries. Facility administrators immediately initiated a safety review, discovering that lockout procedures had not been completed and that the electrical panel's proximity created an unacceptable risk. The Oklahoma Department of Agriculture conducted a formal investigation, resulting in mandatory safety modifications, including double barrier installation around all maintenance areas. The facility implemented new protocols requiring indoor animal securement before perimeter work and mandatory 2-person teams for maintenance activities. Lionel's family declined to pursue legal action, acknowledging that safety protocols had been violated. The incident prompted industry-wide discussions about facility design standards and maintenance procedures at exotic animal sanctuaries. Enhanced training programs were developed to educate contractors about risks associated with working near captive wildlife. After the Oklahoma facility incident, Carol Lowe began her property assessment work in Louisiana's remote bayou regions. It was May 14, 2019, in Louisiana's Atchafalaya Basin, where vast wetlands stretched across 1.4 million acres of cypress swamps and waterways. The tract under evaluation covered 23 acres of pristine bayou frontage, accessible only by shallow draft boats through narrow channels lined with Spanish moss. Carol Lowe, a 36-year-old commercial real estate appraiser, had been contracted to conduct boundary measurements for a potential development project. Her specialization in waterfront properties had built her reputation across the Gulf Coast region. Carol's methodical approach typically involved extensive research of environmental factors before conducting field surveys. The surveyor accompanying her, Robert Thibodeau, was a 54-year-old local expert familiar with seasonal wildlife behavior in the basin. He had noted recent alligator activity and recommended postponing water measurements until after nesting season concluded in late July. However, Carol's client deadline required completion within 2 weeks. The boundary marker requiring measurement stood approximately 15 feet from shore in 3 to 4 feet of tannin-stained water. While the bayou was heavily forested with cypress trees, the specific survey area featured a natural clearing approximately 40 feet in diameter, an open water patch that allowed clear drone operation and unobstructed aerial footage. This natural opening provided necessary access for both the boundary survey and comprehensive camera documentation. The area was surrounded by thick vegetation, typical of prime alligator habitat. Carol carried a waterproof action camera, while Thibodeau operated a drone camera. The tannin-stained water remained relatively clear near the surface during dry season. American alligators are apex predators that have remained virtually unchanged for over 200 million years, perfectly adapted to freshwater environments throughout the southeastern United States. Adult females typically measure 8 to 10 feet and weigh between 200 to 250 pounds, while males can exceed 14 feet and 1,000 pounds. During nesting season from May through July, female alligators become extremely territorial and aggressive, defending nest sites within a 50-foot radius with lethal force. Their powerful jaws generate bite forces exceeding 2,900 pounds per square inch. Alligators construct nests from vegetation and mud, creating mounds up to 3 feet high near water's edge. The decomposing plant material generates heat for egg incubation, while the female remains nearby to guard against threats. At approximately 1:45 p.m., Carol entered the water wearing chest-high waders, significantly reducing her ability to maneuver if submerged, a documented risk factor in alligator habitats. Thibodeau remained on shore, expressing concerns while monitoring the drone feed. As Carol approached the marker, her movement disturbed sediment concealing an active alligator nest within 10 feet. Both cameras captured the complete attack sequence as the defending female, measuring approximately 9 feet, emerged from thick reeds and moved rapidly toward Carol. The cameras recorded the alligator striking Carol's legs with tremendous force, causing her to fall backward into deeper water. The footage showed the animal's bite crushing bones while maintaining an unbreakable grip. The drone captured the alligator immediately beginning its death roll behavior, rotating rapidly while holding Carol underwater. The aerial footage documented this spinning motion causing severe trauma while preventing her from surfacing. Carol's waders filled with water, adding weight that further impeded escape. The cameras recorded the rolling continuing for less than a minute. Alligator death rolls are typically rapid and violent. Thibodeau attempted to create noise from shore, but could not safely approach during the attack. The drone continued recording throughout the incident. The footage captured the alligator eventually releasing Carol and retreating toward its nest, leaving her unconscious and severely injured in 4 feet of water. The medical examiner determined death resulted from drowning secondary to traumatic injuries, preventing consciousness and breathing capability. Emergency responders arrived 28 minutes after Thibodeau's call, coordinating with Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries to recover Carol's body. The investigation team located the active nest within 3 meters of the boundary marker, containing 32 eggs. Wildlife officials confirmed the attack occurred during peak nesting season, when females exhibit maximum territorial aggression. The property was flagged for seasonal restrictions, with recommendations to delay water-based surveys until after nesting season concluded in late July. Carol's family established a scholarship fund for environmental science students, while the Louisiana Real Estate Appraisers Association implemented new guidelines requiring wildlife consultation before conducting surveys in sensitive wetland areas. Following the Louisiana incident, weekend volunteer Vincent Smith arrived at a big cat rescue facility in Arkansas for routine feeding duties. It was October 22, 2015, at a private big cat rescue facility in rural Arkansas, where 180 acres of wooded terrain housed over 40 rescued tigers, lions, and other exotic cats in spacious enclosures. The sanctuary operated as a non-profit organization, providing lifetime care for animals confiscated from illegal ownership or retired from the entertainment industries. Vincent Smith, a 29-year-old accountant from Little Rock, had been volunteering at the facility every weekend for 8 months, gradually taking on increased responsibilities with daily operations. His dedication to animal welfare extended beyond his volunteer work, as he regularly shared his experiences with 3,900 social media followers to raise awareness about big cat conservation. Vincent was known among staff for his reliability and eagerness to help, though his experience remained limited to supervised feeding routines and basic maintenance tasks. The facility's weekend schedule typically operates with reduced staffing, requiring volunteers to assist with essential care duties under supervision. On this particular Saturday, an emergency situation involving an injured leopard in the medical facility had diverted the primary caretaker's attention, leaving Vincent to handle the Bengal tiger feeding independently for the first time. The tiger enclosure featured a complex design with multiple sections connected by gates and corridors, including a secondary access point used for maintenance and emergency situations. The facility maintained comprehensive security camera coverage of all enclosures and feeding areas, with multiple high-definition cameras positioned to monitor animal behavior and document all human-animal interactions for safety analysis and legal protection. Bengal tigers represent the largest wildcat subspecies, with adult males weighing between 400 to 660 pounds and measuring up to 10 feet in length, including their tail. These apex predators possess incredible strength, capable of dragging prey weighing twice their body weight over considerable distances. Their powerful jaws contain canine teeth measuring up to 3 inches in length, designed to deliver crushing bites that can penetrate bone and sever spinal cords instantly. In captivity, tigers retain their natural hunting instincts and territorial behaviors, requiring specialized handling protocols to ensure human safety. Their explosive speed allows them to cover 30 feet in a single bound, while their acute senses can detect movement and scent from significant distances. Tigers typically attack by targeting the neck area of their prey, using their massive weight and jaw strength to achieve rapid kills. The incident occurred at approximately 3:15 p.m. during the facility's afternoon feeding routine. Vincent approached the tiger enclosure carrying prepared meat portions when he noticed the secondary access gate appeared to be unlatched. Security footage later revealed that the gate's locking mechanism had malfunctioned during routine maintenance earlier that week, though this information had not been communicated to weekend volunteers. Instead of following established protocol to verify all security measures with supervisory staff, Vincent entered through the secondary gate without performing the required tap test and visual confirmation that the tiger was secured behind the shift gate. The security cameras captured the complete attack sequence as the adult male Bengal tiger closed the distance rapidly, covering approximately 25 feet in under 2 seconds, consistent with a tiger's documented short burst sprint speed. The footage recorded Vincent attempting to quickly deposit the food and exit, but becoming disoriented about his position relative to the gate in the narrow corridor space. The cameras captured the tiger closing the distance rapidly, covering the distance in under 2 seconds. The security system documented the animal delivering a powerful strike with its front paws, knocking Vincent to the ground with tremendous force. The cameras recorded the impact, fracturing multiple ribs and causing severe internal trauma before the tiger secured a bite to Vincent's neck area. The footage showed the animal maintaining its grip on the cervical region for several seconds. The medical examiner later determined that the tiger's canine teeth had penetrated deep into the neck, severing major blood vessels and causing immediate damage to the spinal cord. The autopsy revealed that the tiger's jaw pressure, exceeding 1,000 pounds per square inch, had crushed vertebrae and compressed vital structures in Vincent's neck. The volunteer supervisor discovered the situation within 2 minutes and immediately activated emergency separation protocols. The cameras recorded staff successfully drawing the tiger back to an alternate section of the enclosure using established food reward procedures. The entire attack lasted approximately 90 seconds from initial contact to animal separation, all captured by multiple security cameras from different angles. Vincent sustained catastrophic injuries to his neck and upper spine, with the medical examiner determining that death resulted from cervical spine trauma and rapid blood loss from severed carotid arteries. The combination of crushing force and penetrating wounds caused immediate loss of consciousness and respiratory failure. Emergency medical personnel arrived within 8 minutes of the initial emergency call, but Vincent had already succumbed to his injuries. Facility administrators immediately suspended all volunteer activities, pending a comprehensive safety review and investigation by state wildlife authorities. The Arkansas Game and Fish Commission conducted a thorough examination of facility protocols and security systems. Investigators discovered that the secondary gate's locking mechanism had indeed malfunctioned, and that proper 2-person verification procedures had not been followed before enclosure entry. The security footage provided complete documentation of the incident for the investigation. The facility implemented immediate safety modifications, including replacement of all gate hardware, mandatory 2-person teams for any enclosure access, and enhanced training requirements for volunteers. Vincent's family chose not to pursue legal action, acknowledging that established safety protocols had been violated. The incident prompted statewide reviews of volunteer safety procedures at exotic animal facilities, resulting in standardized training requirements and enhanced oversight protocols. Thanks for watching. Want to see more? Click on your screen now.